I got some Star Trek fan fiction for you right here, 3 pages. This one's a little bit special. It's kind of an interesting story I've been working on, and I hope you enjoy it. Captain's Log 2234.5. The Enterprise is responding to an emergency beacon from what was then known as the Science Survey Ship Expedition, which was reported lost a century ago. The ship was last monitored on its way to a distant M-class planet, Ramesses, tasked with investigating markings on the planet's surface, but never heard from again. The distance at the time of the disappearance made it impossible for Starfleet to travel, but with time, Starfleet has now sent the Enterprise to examine the beacon. Captain Kirk was summoned to the bridge when an alien signal reached them from the planet's surface below. Uhura said there was an image, and Kirk told her to put the video on the main view screen. On the screen was a humanoid, dressed in the garb of an Egyptian pharaoh, and in the back were several huge pyramids under construction with various spacecraft lifting and placing huge rectangle blocks. "Captain," the alien said in English. His accent was Earth Middle Eastern, but unidentifiable. "I am Dr. Tali Zawassi, the Minister of State for Antiquities Affairs and Chief Archaeologist. We detected your ship as you approached, and I'm warning you to veer off immediately." Kirk recognized the face of Dr. Zawassi from history and his studies at Starfleet of ancient civilizations. The man on the screen could not be who he said he was, as the man he studied was long dead. "How can you be Dr. Zawassi?" Kirk asked. "You lived on Earth centuries ago." "I am the same man you studied in your history books, an alien that has traveled the galaxy for thousands of years," the doctor replied. "I currently reside here, on the planet you call Ramesses. Fitting, isn't it?" Spock stepped down to stand next to Kirk. "Fascinating," Spock said, raising an eyebrow. There were theories that aliens visited Earth and constructed the pyramids, a theory that was allegedly proven false. "You are correct," Dr. Zawassi replied. "You are an alien as well, as I can see. What is your name?" "My name is Spock, and my captain's name is Kirk," Spock replied. "I was there on Earth when the theory of alien involvement was proposed, and I was shocked at how easily your kind was persuaded that mere Earthlings could construct such a monument so easily with copper tools, rope, and the strength of apes." "There were many that felt there were outside involvement," Kirk replied, "but there were also many that felt we shouldn't discount the ability of man." "In any case, you can't stop here. We don't want or need you," Zawassi said, waving his hand off, shooing off the captain. "We are responding to a distress call from one of our ships," Kirk replied. "It is our duty to investigate and assist if needed." "I know of your ship and of the distress call. That was long, long ago, and things have changed significantly since then. Your men are dead and gone and no longer need you," Zawassi stated as fact. "That may be true, but our responsibility would be to gather the remains for family and recover as much of the ship as possible," Kirk said. "We are far too busy with construction to allow you to gather the dust that remains," Zawassi said. "There is nothing left for you." Kirk looked in the background of the screen and watched huge spacecraft lift the stones into the air and set them in place on the newly constructed pyramid. Hundreds of workers surrounded the structure, but Kirk could not tell what they were doing. Why was there no evidence of alien involvement in the construction of the Earth pyramids? There must have been accidents. Where were your ships hidden? Kirk asked. Annoyed, Zawassi replied to Kirk's inquiry. "If you keep looking, you will find them. We buried many ships under your shifting sands. When your technology improves, they will show themselves like fireflies in the dark forest." "But," Kirk added. "No more questions," Zawassi snapped back. "I have work to do, and you need to change course immediately." "Starfleet wants answers, and I plan to investigate. You have your work, and I have mine. I told you what happened to your ship and to your crew. Tell your Starfleet, as I told you, Zawassi replied, shaking his head. You wouldn't accept that answer, and neither will they. We will continue to Ramesses as planned, and we will investigate, Kirk snapped. Kirk and Spock were immediately zapped off the bridge of the Enterprise and transported to Zawassi's construction center. Both men felt the heat of the sun-drenched sand-laden planet and felt the grit in the air. See with your own eyes, Zawassi said, holding out his arms to both sides. Do you see your ship? Do you see your men? Kirk shielded his eyes with his hand and slowly spun around. No, I don't, Kirk said. I will need to scan the planet with my ship. I may need to bring down a crew to take a closer look and take samples. This is your one opportunity, Zawassi said. Use it wisely. Spock spoke up. How many ships do you employ to move the blocks into place? We have hundreds of ships, cutting, moving, and placing blocks, Zawassi replied, operating in shifts all hours of the day. At that rate, how long do you anticipate construction to last? We can place 3 pyramids in 5 Earth years, Zawassi replied. We have constructed thousands of these in the galaxy, over 50 in the solar system alone. Why did you only construct 3 in the Earth solar system? Why only 3 on Earth? Spock asked. What makes you think we only constructed 3? We constructed a dozen on Vulcan alone, Zawassi stated with pride. Okay, this video has to do with ancient aliens, and I thought it'd be a really cool story if, we found another planet where they actually did build pyramids with aliens, and that Dr. Zawassi here was just an alien that went from place to place. I thought it was kind of a unique story. I don't think I've ever heard of it before. So to me, this is one of my more special stories, and I hope this goes somewhere.